Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Supreme Petrochem Limited Q2 and H1 FY2025 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participants' lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Anuj Sonpal from Valorum Advisors. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Anuj Sonpal from Valorum Advisors. We represent the investor relations of Supreme Petrochem Limited. On behalf of the company, I would like to thank you all for participating in the company's earnings call for the second quarter and first half of the financial year 2025. Before we begin, let me mention a cautionary statement. Some of the statements made in today's earnings call may be forward-looking in nature. Such forward-looking statements are subject to risks and uncertainties which could cause actual results to differ from those anticipated. Such statements are based on management's beliefs as well as assumptions made by and information currently available to management. Audiences are cautioned not to place any undue reliance on these forward-looking statements in making any investment decisions. The purpose of today's earnings call is purely to educate and bring awareness about the company's fundamental business and financial quarter under review. Now let me introduce you to the management participating with us in today's earnings call and hand it over to them for opening remarks. We firstly have with us Mr. Rakesh Nair, Executive Director and Chief Financial Officer, and we also have Mr. Dilip Deole, Chief Executive of Finance and Accounts. Without any further delay, I request Mr. Rakesh Nair to start with his opening remarks. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anuj. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the earnings conference call for the second quarter and first half of the financial year 2025. Let me start by giving you a brief overview of the financial performance for the second quarter ended 30th September 2024. The operating income for the second quarter was 1,506 crore rupees, which has grown by approximately 18% on a year-on-year basis. The operating EBITDA was reported at around 125 crores, reflecting a similar increase of approximately 18% year-on-year. The total EBITDA margin stood at around 9.42% for the second quarter. The net profit after tax was around 91 crore rupees, which increased by around 17% year-on-year. In the second quarter, the company's sales volumes of manufactured products increased marginally year-on-year to 81,566 metric tons. The prices of styrene monomer during the quarter ended September 2024 were range-bound. For the first half of the financial year 2025, the operating income was rupees 3,079 crores, which has grown by 23% year-on-year basis. Total EBITDA is around rupees 326 crores, representing a growth of approximately 42% year-on-year. Total EBITDA margin stood at around 10.6% for this period. The net profit after tax is around 212 crores, which increased by 44% year-on-year. On the operational front, in the first half, the company's sales volumes of manufactured products increased by 10.47% on year-on-year basis to 174,813 metric tons. Domestic sales volumes increased by 17.6% year-on-year basis to 157,702 metric ton in this period. Exports remained subdued due to ongoing West Asian crisis and slowdown in Europe and Turkey, with exports quantity in first half of FY2025 of 17,111 metric ton as against 24,184 metric ton in the corresponding period of the previous year. On the capex front, the implementation of the first phase of Mass ABS project with a capacity of 70,000 tons per annum is expected to be completed by March 2025. On the other update, the company remained debt-free with an investable surplus of rupees 886 crores at the end of September 2024, and the board has recommended an interim dividend at the rate of 125% of rupees 2.5 per equity share on the face value of rupees 2 per share. With this, now I open the floor for questions and answers session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Aditya Khetan from Smith's Institutional Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Sir, first question is onto the volume side. Sir, in this quarter, we had witnessed a sharp dip on sequential basis. Sir, is there any particular reason what has changed last quarter versus this quarter in your export geographies? And why there is a sharp dip in volumes?
Sharp dip in volumes is essentially a seasonal factor because once the monsoons set in from the mid-June onwards, this is kind of a lean period where the demand from the OEMs as well as the non-OEM segments, they go down. And from mid-June to mid-December, it is a lean period, barring 1 month of the festivities before Diwali. And from mid-December to mid-June, again, it becomes the high demand season for us. And that is the cause for when you look at the sequential thing, the demand is lower or the sales are lower in volumes. But if you compare it on year basis, then the domestic demand has grown. The export demand is subdued this year because of the slowdown in America as well as in Europe and Turkey, and also the West Asia crisis.
Okay, and sir, are you finding any reason so whether this geographies has nearly bottomed out in terms of demand and there is a good uptick which we can see or you still see that so the pain will continue?
As far as the export volumes are concerned, unless there is strong demand comes from Europe or Turkey, and also till the time the West Asia crisis is on, the unlikely that the demand would be strong from these markets or the exports would be strong to these markets. But the exports to the other Asian countries or the African countries, they continue. It's not that all Europe is dead. We still export to Europe, but then the volumes to Europe have come down.
Okay. Sir, my second question is on to the polystyrene spreads. Sir, we were checking the data that on spot basis, the polystyrene and the styrene spreads have gone up. But sir, our reported numbers indicate that the spreads have actually declined. Sir, just wanted to know what is the deviation and what we are missing here.
The styrene prices have been more or less stable in the months of July, August until almost ends of the third week of September. Second half of September onwards, there has been some dip. And the deltas are actually the normal deltas between the spread between PS in the global market and the PS and SM deltas are standard deltas. There is no sharp deviation as far as we see the numbers.
Okay. And sir, in last quarter, sir, you had mentioned that because of the higher ocean freight prices also, so polystyrene prices were higher. In this quarter, sir, are you witnessing that benefit has gone or still this quarter, so the benefit was there from the higher PS prices?
See, that was there for a while, but now the freights are coming down. They are becoming normal now.
Okay. Sir, my next question is on to the Haryana land which we had bought. Sir, we are doing a capex of 800 crore, and I believe, sir, earlier you had mentioned that the revenue potential could be around 2,200 crore. Sir, any idea how much capex we had incurred as of now, and which are the projects we had commissioned over there?
No, we have not commissioned any project there so far. We bought the land. We are doing the pre-project activities, including the environment clearances and environment impact assessment and other approvals which are needed. So all that work is going on. It is a long-term process. It will take another, we presume, 6 to 8 months before we can really start the work there.
Okay. And sir, our expansion of ADS and
I request you to come back for a follow-up question.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Shailesh Raja from B&K Securities Limited. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. Sir, in our latest annual report, under total energy consumption data, we have provided electricity consumption and the fuel consumption. So, is this fuel consumption, it is used for generating power or any other production process also the fuel is used?
Come again, I couldn't get your question, please.
So, in our annual report, under total energy consumption data we have given, so we have provided both electricity consumption and fuel consumption.
Yeah.
So in this fuel consumption, it is used only for power generation or any other production process also it is used?
Fuel generation is for the fuel consumption is for the production purposes.
Okay, production purpose. Okay. So in that case, power cost per unit comes around 8.99 rupees per unit, right, sir? Last year in FY2024.
Okay.
So now with PDA agreement with the SP Saturn and the Tata Power, we are saying 50% of the Maharashtra plant will be renewable. So in that case, how much benefit it can come, sir?
As far as our Maharashtra unit is concerned, because what numbers you are seeing is the combined number of for our both locations. But then if I
have taken only 90% of total consumption, unit consumption.
Sorry?
I have taken only 90% of unit consumption.
Okay. So
Maharashtra only have taken.
As concerned, our power consumption costs going forward should go down by around 25% once the solar supply starts, which actually has commenced from this month.
Okay, 25%, sir. Okay. So in that case, the maximum power cost will be only, say, 70 crores at full utilization of 5 lakh tons, excluding the ABS. My understanding is right?
You are saying that our maximum would be what?
5 lakh tons, excluding the ABS. Our maximum power cost will be around 70 crores, right, sir?
That is all linked to the production level. So what will be the final number? I can't tell you that. But then based on the supply of solar, what we have agreed upon as per the agreements, and the standard consumption at our Nagothane plant, based on our current production levels, we expect that our electricity cost will come down by 25% with regard to Nagothane plant.
Okay. Sir, my second question, we are investing 800 crores in this Haryana greenfield. The potential revenue from this project is roughly around 1900 crores. So we are getting into two new products, that is engineered plastics and EPS 3D panel. That's 1 million.
Your line is not clear, Mr. Raja. Your line is not clear.
Sir, you can hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so we are investing 800 crores in Haryana greenfield project.
Yeah.
The potential revenue from this project is 1900 crores. So we are getting into two new products. One is engineered plastics and EPS 3D panel. That is 1 million square meter 3D panel. So you have mentioned already that from 3D panel we can do 100 crores of potential revenue. So what is the potential revenue we can expect from this engineered plastics, that is ABS, polycarbonate, or PMMA?
We have not said engineered plastics there. We have talked about the units which should be there is the polystyrene, expandable polystyrene, extruded polystyrene, sheeting, and 3D panel.
Mm-hmm.
So that what you are talking about is the engineering plastics. That is the that could be a compounding part of it, but not the engineering plastic unit as only polystyrene would be there and expandable polystyrene would be there.
Okay. So can you roughly give the product price potential revenue in Haryana, sir? The PS sheeting, 3D panel.
3D panel, you only have said that it was 100 crores.
100 crores, yes.
And the sheeting would also be close to 150 odd crores.
Okay, sir.
And then the polystyrene, expandable polystyrene, they would be adding it to it. So the total revenue would be in the region of 2,000 odd crores.
So EPS capacity, effective capacity will be 48,500 tons. So we can do roughly 700 crores.
You said 48,500 of what?
EPS capacity.
EPS capacity, we have said 50,000 tons for that.
No, in that 1,500, it will go to 3D panel. So
Okay.
the saleable volume will be around 48,500.
Okay.
So we can generate 700 crores revenue from that.
From there, we can generate a revenue of around 750, 700 crores or so.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, sir. And sir, last question, sir. First off, we have achieved 17,000 tons in the exports. So is it possible to achieve 40K in this FY2025?
As of now, we are working on it because all depends upon the many factors today. One is the West Asia crisis, the secondly slowdown in America and also in Europe and in Turkey. So we are working on the other markets where we have our existing clientele. So we are targeting we should be near about there, but then can't really with certainty say that what number we would be able to achieve.
Okay. In terms of pricing, how competitive we are, sir, in exports market?
So we are very competitive because not only the price front, because of our quality and the variety of grades which we can offer for different product, different applications. That is the USP as far as the exports are concerned.
Okay. So what is the breakup, sir, between EPS and PS in exports?
EPS is very minimal. It is mainly polystyrene.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for answering for all my questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the manager is able to address the questions from all the participants, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. I repeat, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Muchal from HDFC Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, first question is on the freight rates, container freight rates global. So you mentioned they have come down, but if I look at the trend, it seems they were still reasonably high during the quarter, and the trend probably seems to be still higher than when they started to increase, probably indicating that the scope is still a lot more. So, will it probably have some implications in terms of the economics or the spreads that we are probably currently earning, assuming the benchmark spreads remains the same? So, will it have some implications?
When I said they have started coming down, if you compare them with the first quarter of the current financial year, they have come down. And as far as our economics is concerned, generally the imports to India, they are from the Southeast Asian countries. Mainly from Singapore, Taiwan, and also the Far East, that is the Northeast. So it's the Thailand, it's there, it's the Korea or Taiwan or Singapore. They are the major exporting countries to the country. The freight rates from these countries have not really gone up significantly, and they are almost at the normal levels now, thereabout. So I don't see that there will be any impact on as far as our economics is concerned.
Got it. Perfect. That helps. And so the second question is probably a bit macro. Is if I look at across the polymer chains, global, which are global polymers, it seems the spreads are much lower than what they were, say, pre-COVID or around 2000, much lower 2018-19 levels also. Two reasons it seems is because of China's capacity addition across and the global weak demand. But particularly for PS, it seems the spreads are better than what they were historically. Is there any particular differential trend which is playing out in PS, which is leading to such an outcome?
The spreads of polystyrene are always normal. I won't say they are any.
Yeah, so they are normal. But if I look at some of the other products, if I look at some of the other polymers, they are much lower because of multiple reasons.
Yeah. The normal spread levels, and it's essentially that there is a demand, particularly in India. There is a growth in demand of polystyrene, which was earlier very low. Now it is increasing with the increased demand from OEMs, and also some exports by the OEMs also. So that is adding to as far as India is concerned, we are holding on to that.
But so you also get influenced by the global spreads, right, to a large degree. So I'm just trying to understand.
Deltas in the Far East and the Northeast, Southeast Asian countries, they are almost the same. There has not been any uptick there. They are the normal standard spreads there also.
Yeah.
What we may be seeing is the European and the American spreads. In Europe, because many plants have shut down, the slowdown is there. So many plants are operating at very uneconomical levels. So there the spreads may be higher, but not in this part of the world.
Got it. Sure. And so, would the spreads in, say, Southeast Asia and the Far East would be very different versus India on a benchmark level, on a specific product level? I understand you do various grades, and so that can be on a blended basis. It would be different. But if I have to, just pick a single grade and a single Southeast Asian grade on a like-to-like basis, would it be very different?
No, it would not be, because the base pricing in India is also linked to the Southeast Asia spreads only.
So, okay, got it. Perfect. That makes sense. And so, last question is how differential are these economics when you're looking at exports versus domestic for the same set of product? So, does domestic fetch you a better margin or domestic?
Far superior than the exports. At times, exports give us better margins also, but in current circumstances, in the current scene, the exports are lower than the domestic.
And the differential is primarily because of the freight, or is there something more to it?
Yeah, mainly because of the freight and also the competition, in the sense that since the demand, there is a slowdown in European market or in Turkey, so the whole world, which was earlier trying to supply to them, and whatever demand is there, everyone is trying to compete for that. So the size of the pie has gone down, so everyone is trying to have a share of that pie. So there is a competition there.
Got it. Explains. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nirav Jimudia from Unbuilt Wealth. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. I have a few questions to ask. So first is, so when we compare our PS volumes, we produce some specialty grades of PS also, where we get some premium pricing as compared to the normal GP and HIPS. So if you can just help us understand that how has been those premiums over those traditional grades in H1 of FY25 versus FY24? Have they shrinked, or the premiums have been maintained, and because of which we have been able to slightly better off in terms of the performance versus the spreads prevailing in the Western world?
The premium products which we have, there is a markup over the standard grades because of the different properties of the premium grades.
Yeah.
So when the spread for the normal grades is X, So our markup was there, and with the markup remains the same almost.
Okay, correct.
And the spreads have gone down of the normal grade, so if you look at the absolute number would also go down for the premium grades, but the markup is there. Our markup is the same for us.
Correct.
And today for all the basket of all the products what we have, we are almost at the 40% value addition in terms of our basket of products now.
Correct. And so generally these markups are close to 15-20% in terms of over the standard grades, or are they slightly lesser?
We treat it as a premium product for us or a value-added product for us, where the markup is 20% more than the normal standard grade for us. If the standard grade is X, the premium grade or the value-added grade would be 1.2 or X plus 0.2.
Correct. And sir, with the lot of MNC guys setting up their plants here in India, specifically on the OE side, does it mean that the demand for this premium grade should go up given the kind of qualities and the kind of newest technologies which they bring along with into India? Is it possible that this 40% number can go up to 60-65% over a period of time?
I don't see that kind of a jump, very frankly. Maybe yes, another 5 to 7% it may go up.
Okay.
Because what I am telling you, 40% is for the total basket of all products put together as far as we are concerned.
Okay.
So there are EPS, there are compounds, there are other products also. So I see that for the company as a whole, it could be up to 50%. Maybe we'll have the value-added products then.
Correct. On the full volumes of 522,000 tons, whenever we will touch it.
No, on our current volumes today.
Okay, on the current volumes. And out of this 40%, how much could be for PS? Any idea if you can give?
I won't have that number offhand right now.
No worries. Sir, next question is on, I think this quarter, if I'm not wrong, our trading sales is slightly higher based on the numbers what I'm looking at. So generally it used to be 21-22%, but is it at the same level or it has gone up slightly this quarter?
Maybe 0.5% there or here or there, but generally we are around 22 to 23% of our total volumes. Total revenue.
Correct. So last bit from my side is the capacity utilization for PS and EPS, if you can share. And along with it, are we working, because you mentioned in the one of earlier participants that the exports of EPS was minimal. But is there a scope for developing some special grades for the EPS which can be specifically for the targeted export markets, and because of which our exports of EPS could be also meaningful in our overall export share? Thank you so much.
We are already working on developing new grades for the European market and for the US market.
Okay.
Because we are also expanding our EPS capacity, so we have to look at the exports market. And I think in the near future, we would be exporting significant quantities of EPS to these markets. We are working on it.
Correct. So, and the capacity utilization number, if you can share.
Capacity utilization for all products put together, we are close to around 80% for this quarter.
Correct. So last, if you may allow, if you can share the schedule of our expansions for EPS compounds as well as XPS. The one which we are doing at Manali for compounds, I think from 25 to 75, and the XPS one.
No, Manali, we are not. Manali expansion is over.
Okay.
As far as the Amdoshi expansion is concerned, the EPS would be, the second phase would be over by the last quarter of the current financial.
Okay.
And as far as the compounds are concerned, there we will, as I said earlier also, we will keep on adding lines on a need-based basis. As and when we need more lines, they will keep on getting added there.
Correct. So effectively, our EPS capacity would be 148,000 KT or 148,000.
The effective capacity would be maybe 130 to 135,000 tons. The nameplate capacity would be 145,000 tons for us.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much, sir, and I wish the entire team all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ramnan KV from Sequent Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Excuse me, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sir, I just wanted to know the update with respect to the upcoming mass ABS plant.
Mm-hmm.
And historically, if one looks at the EBITDA margins have been declining. So can you give me what's the reason why the EBITDA margin are falling year-on-year basis? Like when back in 2022 it was 18, and now it's around at 9 or 10%.
Mass ABS project would be completed by March 2025. And as far as your EBITDA margin is concerned, yes, 21-22 margins were very high because of the very significantly higher spreads in the global market. Post-COVID, that was the year when there was the many plants had not started and the shipping rates were very high, so the global deltas were very, very high. So that benefit we got. Otherwise, we are currently in a normal delta scenario where we are at between 9 to 10%.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Aditya Ketan from SMIPS Institutional Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the follow-up. Sir, my question is on to the EPS part. Sir, we know that EPS and the PS, so EPS is generally a premium as compared to PS. So, in terms of percentage, like if suppose in PS we are getting an X percentage of spread, so how much incremental we would be getting it in EPS?
No, there is no such differentiation now. Maybe that EPS may fetch in some markets for some applications, it may rather fetch less than PS also.
Okay. And sir, one of the raw material to make EPS is pentane. So sir, my question is, from where we are sourcing this pentane gas and how we are storing and handling it, and what are the current prices of pentane?
We import, we source it locally also, and it is handled in ISO tanks and everything, and there are licenses for storage of this. So as per the legal requirements, that storage is taken care of in the specified tanks. And as far as the prices are concerned, I won't have offhand at the moment. Maybe later on I can give it to you.
Okay. And sir, in terms of the percentage split of our top line, so you had mentioned earlier that 60 to 65% comes from PS, and almost around so 2/3 comes from EPS. Any change in that, sir, revenue contribution in this quarter?
I said that 2/3 from PS, around about that, 1/4 from EPS, and 1/10 from the other products as far as the manufactured slate is concerned.
Okay. And sir, whenever our ABS would come on stream, how much potential revenue contribution it would make at peak utilization level?
The line 1 would give us around 1,000 crores plus.
1,000 crores plus. Okay. Sir, estimated capex for 25 and 26?
Interrupt you, sir. I request you to come back for a follow-up question.
Just one last minute.
Yeah, so go ahead, please.
Sir, estimated capex sir for FY25 and FY26?
FY25, our capex is projected to be around 380 crores.
Okay, and sir, for 26?
26, I don't have the numbers right now, Aditya.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Nirav Jimodia from Anvil Wealth Management. Please go ahead.
So thanks for the opportunity again. Sir, you mentioned that because of the special grades of EPS which have been developing for the Europe and the US market, does it also mean that this will also command the same level of markup premiums over the standard EPS which we are currently selling, and that could help us some enhancement in our margins?
It's very difficult to say at this moment, because what they need, we are developing that, and maybe now in the current financial year itself, we may start exporting that. And once we actually export, and then with the acceptability of the newly developed grades of EPS, then we'll really come to know what kind of premiums we get. But we will be working on that.
Correct. And if it is possible to give some understanding, like out of, let's say, 17 KT of exports what we have done in H1, similar size the opportunity for EPS could emerge when we will develop this sort of grades, not immediately, but eventually, whenever the customer acceptability and the confidence goes up, can EPS exports could also be meaningful, similar to the PS volumes which we are currently doing on?
You see, with the whatever capacity we have, that's for polystyrene, we have an effective capacity of 300,000 tons.
Correct.
And again, after expansion, we will have, as far as EPS is concerned, only around effective capacity of around 130,000 tons.
Yeah.
So, we won't be having volumes also to match exports of EPS with the same quantity of PS.
Okay.
So the numbers of EPS exports would be lower than the PS exports, but they would be significant.
Got it. And sir, any understanding of the demand scenario in India, specifically on the PS and APS side? You mentioned that with the new OEs putting up a plant here, demand optically looks optimistic only over a period of time. So let's say if you can give some understanding about the current demand scenario for PS and EPS in India and how it is looking in H2 of FY25, that would be very helpful.
No, the demand for PS is good in India. As far as domestic demand of PS, because of the OEM sector, is strong. It's only that in the non-OEM sector, there has been a certain slowdown.
Okay.
But the sector has been strong. There has been if I look at the overall first half of the year, as far as OEM sector is concerned, there's almost 30% growth in the OEM demand.
Okay. And that forms close to 75 to 80% of our overall volumes.
No, it's not 75. We are also significantly present in the non-OEM market.
Okay.
It's just not the OEM market. Though all OEMs are our customers, but then we are significantly present in the non-OEM market as well.
What could be rough mix if you can share, sir, like in terms of OE versus non?
50-50. Our 50-50. Yeah.
Okay, that is 50-50. And sir, last time you mentioned that since we have done 175,000 tons of volumes in H1, possibly the earlier guidance was like we may touch something close to around 350,000 tons of volumes. Is there any change in the guidance, or on the upside or on the lower side, which you may?
Yesterday in one of the interviews, I said that we may have 340,000 tons of volume this year because of the slowdown in the export market.
Got it. Got it. But nothing, so the demand in the domestic market continues to remain robust, so there is no...
We are very bullish about the domestic demand.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much, sir, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next follow-up question is from the line of Ramnan from Sequent Investments. Please go ahead.
Sir, I just want to know the guidance with respect to FY2025. Hello?
Guidance, I'm sorry, I can't give you any guidance. I can only tell you about our volume growth.
Okay, even volume growth will be fine.
Growth, we would, now with the slowdown in the export market, so our volume growth could be around 5% to 6% over the previous year.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to the management from Supreme Petrochem Limited for closing comments.
Thank you all for participating in this earnings con call. If you have any further questions or would like to know more about our company, please reach out to our Investor Relations Manager at Velaram Advisors. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Supreme Petrochem Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.